So welcome. Thanks for coming, everybody, taking some time out of your, what is this, Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday morning. And appreciate Mr. Mayor coming and Craig from Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation. We really appreciate you guys coming. We've got La Cicero Medical represented and Dr. Weissman somewhere hanging out back here from GMS Medical, a couple of our very good clients, local clients, and everybody else for joining us. So as an entrepreneur, I frequently get asked the question, what keeps you up at night? And I would suggest that not only the question, what keeps you up at night, is important, but even more important is, why do you get up in the morning? What drives you? And so one of the things that keeps me up at night is knowing that there is a projected shortage of nearly 100,000 doctors in the next decade. Doctors are leaving the profession at an alarming rate. Highest level of dissatisfaction in recorded history. 2/3 of them would not recommend the profession to their child. And the product development life cycle, if you will, of a doctor, so from the time they decide they want to become a doctor to the time they can start cutting into you, is a very long time, much longer than a decade. What gets me up in the morning is knowing that we make a difference for nearly 2,000 clinicians around the country who treat 7 million patients every year here at DAS. And locally, we have a significant impact on the clinicians as well. What also keeps me up at night is the opioid epidemic. We've all heard about that. We've read about it. We know what's going on. 50,000 people died by overdose in the last year. Also keeps me up at night is the mental and behavioral health crisis, which is equally as bad, if not as well published, but equally as bad out there. 1.1 million people in the last year attempted to take their lives. Nearly 50,000 of them succeeded. And of the 50,000 that succeeded, 45% had been to see a doctor or the emergency room within 30 days of having successfully taken their life. What also keeps me up at night is knowing that more veterans die from suicide than active combat. What also keeps me up at night is knowing that there are 16 million people who are clinically depressed in America. And that's clinically depressed. That's not, I don't feel like I'm having a good day depressed. That's clinically depressed. The #1 cause of disability. And also keeps me up at night knowing that there are 1 in 4 people, 1 in 4 Americans who have debilitating anxiety. And again, that's not anxiety like, I gotta get up here and speak anxiety. That's anxiety that keeps them from getting out of bed or functioning. What gets me up in the morning is knowing that we were able to launch our sister company, Assess Your Health, that provides a mental and behavioral health application that helps make a difference with that and helps the physicians to be able to identify it and start on the road to treatment and making a difference. And empowers them. If you look at just the 2 practices that we have that are represented here between La Cicero Medical Group and GMS Florida, I think it's GMS Florida or GMS Health, change of names. West Coast Florida, thanks. Just between those 2 practices, by implementing our application, we've empowered them to save 3 lives monthly and to impact dozens of others. Getting up in the morning knowing that we can make a difference locally, nationally, and worldwide. Just in the last 2 months, we've had 27 countries approach us about our application. About a year and a half ago, Laura, you here? Yes, with Construction Services, Inc., Laura and Fred Lay. Fred, they did, by the way, they did the build out here. Isn't it gorgeous? Hopefully everybody can join us on a tour later. But as I was talking to Fred, he said to me, he goes, it's not big enough. And I said, Fred, we've got like 4 offices filled. You can throw a football on the other side of the office and not hit anybody. I don't understand what you mean. He said, yeah, but I know you. And it's not big enough. And sure enough, we're now busting at the seams. So once again, Fred was right, I was wrong. But since that time, we've doubled in size. We've more than doubled in size, both organically and through acquisition. And we've also been able to launch our sister company, Assess Your Health. During that time, we've made 4 acquisitions in just an 8-month period. Some of those acquisitions were, in fact, all of those acquisitions were in other states, and we helped bring employees here. In fact, Mr. Mayor, I don't know if you remember, but I ran into you on the plane as I was going up to close one of those deals in Charlotte. I think you were headed off to Boston or somewhere up there. And we got off the plane, and as we were getting off, you said, so what are you doing in Charlotte? And I said, well, I'm hoping to bring jobs to Tampa. And you got that grin, and you're like, let me know what we can do to help.
Love stealing jobs from Charlotte. Oh. You can tell I'm an Irishman.
Well, I thought that was every time you said Charlotte, it just went off. So we worked with the city and we worked with the Economic Development Corporation, and we went to the Economic Development Corporation and said, we can bring jobs to Tampa. Here's our plan. And said, jobs, I love jobs. It's great. So we've committed to bringing 30 high-paying jobs to Tampa by the end of 2018, I think. And I was telling Fred that, and I said, we're going to bring 30 jobs here. And he looked at me and he started laughing. He goes, no. You've underestimated. So we're in the process now of looking at building out. Luckily, we've got contiguous space here. We're going to be building out around most of the rest of the floor as we continue to grow. And our people are everything that we have. We're a service company, so everything we do is based on our people. Jobs are critical for us. And so I've invited 4 of our newest, and again, Fred's probably right because we've hired 4 new people just in the last 2 weeks. So Shella, Loretta, where are you? There you go. Helen and Lynn, who've all joined us just in the last 2 weeks. And then also Scott Black, who's not even joined us yet, coming in as Chief Operating Officer, and he'll be with us starting, I guess, May 1st now we're looking at. So very excited about that. And the amazing people that are here. So I'd like to thank the state of Florida, the Hillsborough County, the Economic Development Corporation, the City of Tampa. This is a great place. I've lived in, I think, 10 or 12 different places around the country and around the world. And I'm going to tell you, this is the best place to start a company, grow a company, build a company, run a company. There's no place better. So with that, I'd like to welcome Mayor Buckhorn to come up and say a few words.
It's a good time to be the mayor when you travel with scissors or a shovel. Because we're either cutting ribbons or breaking ground on something. And, it's really exciting for me to be at events like this because, I look at this workforce and I look at what you've done, David. This is exactly the type of employee, the type of company that we've been trying to grow. I mean, we have totally changed Tampa's economic DNA over the last 6 to 7 years. And to watch the emergence of this community as the destination for the best and the brightest from around the country, and to know that we're stealing jobs from Tampa and Austin and Charlotte, North Carolina, and our best and brightest kids aren't having to leave Tampa anymore. They're staying here and they're bringing their friends with them. To know that we're going to build 4,000 new residential units in downtown Tampa in the next 18 to 24 months. To see the Riverwalk come alive, and you are now in the midst of it. I mean, you can look out your window and see a waterfront that has completely transformed itself. 7 days a week, 18 hours a day. But it's this generation that's going to be driving that next wave of development in this city. And the best part, I think, for David and I, for this company, is our last chapter hasn't been written. I mean, we haven't even seen yet what is about to occur here, both for you guys as a company, for this industry, for the technology sector, for the millennials that will be flocking here. I mean, I'm only going to be the mayor for another 2 more years, but I'm going to be on the sidelines cheering on all of you guys on as we transform this city, because I promise you this, over the next 10 years, you're not going to recognize this place. You are absolutely not going to recognize this place. And if you think about what Jeff Finnick is about to embark on, you think about the development that is leaping the river and is now on the west side of the river with the waterfront as the focal point for everything that we do. You look at the connection between Ybor City and downtown and all the neighborhoods around here. You think about our food scene and our beer scene. I mean, this place is busting loose. And so congratulations for those who are willing to risk their capital and embark on a venture like this and to grow this company to attract great employees like this. This is a great day for Tampa, and let's go steal some more jobs from Charlotte.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll just note, in fact, the Riverwalk, I walk to and from the office every day on the Riverwalk. It's a great place just in the morning. You get your thoughts together in the evening. It's beautiful. So thanks for all that. So Craig, if you want to come up and say a few words, thank you again for everything that you guys have done for us.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Craig Richard. I'm the president and CEO of the Tampa Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation. And while I love this mayor, I hate following him speaking.
2 years, you won't have to worry about it.
Well, we need to do something about that. And David, thank you again for inviting us. While you enumerated very clearly and sincerely the things that keep you up, I actually go to bed better and sleep better knowing that folks like you, entrepreneurs like you, that's willing to invest your time, resources, talent in addressing issues that's critical to America and our society, that you guys are on it. And I'm pleased that you've chosen Tampa as the place to do that. This community has so much going for it, as you said. You've lived a number of places, so have I. And I got to admit, I concur with everything that you just said about this community. It's very welcoming. We want to see you succeed. I'm pleased that our organization has had an opportunity to work with you to make sure that we're growing those jobs. Just yesterday, we were in our investor meeting, and we talked about the importance of our local companies expanding and growing and how we need to double down in helping you guys do that. So we're pleased to be a part of that. We're pleased that you've chosen Tampa to expand and grow and to offer such critical, valuable services to our community and to our society. Again, thank you for allowing us to be a part of it.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to the double down. So, and we'll match that. Well, thank you again for coming out and helping us to celebrate the success and the continued growth and what we're doing to do our part to contribute to the ongoing growth and success of the city and the surrounding community in the state of Florida. So with that, I think the official ribbon cutting, and then we'll have time for questions and refreshments. And if anybody wants to take a tour of the facility, you just have to sign in for HIPAA purposes. We'll make sure that you have an opportunity to take that tour as well.
All right, now, first key is, look at the couch. There we go.